We now move on to another important part of CMSF, one of the great traditions of our conference, the announcement of the Trustee of the Year Award. In fact, I ask last year's Trustee of the Year, John Burge, to come to the podium.
Thanks, Sandy. My predecessor, Gerard Noonan, told us last year that during his incumbency, his editor had taken to calling him Superman. Unfortunately, the best my irreverent friends and hitherto trustworthy colleagues could come up with Trustee of the Year was Toy Boy. I had to go and look in the mirror to reassure myself. Sadly, I also have to report that despite this being a leap year, I have been unable to identify a suitably qualified partner to complete the equation. More seriously, though, trusteeship is a very important responsibility, and it is a privilege, in fact, to be given the opportunity to protect and grow the retirement savings of members. Unfortunately, if Ipsos research is right, maybe they don't know that, but we certainly do. And part of that importance rests in the representative trustee system, and despite there being many sceptics about that, in the past its performance has proved that this is an excellent way of moving forward. AIST, I endorse the Minister's comments. They play an important role in preparing people for trusteeship, and the success of industry funds with their low-cost structure and a concentration on benefits to members is adequate proof of that arrangement. On a personal note, I need to thank Fiona and Marianne and Debbie and all of the AIST staff for their support during the year, and to once again suggest that the support for AIST and the support from AIST is important to trustees. One of the things that highlight this is this annual award, and I found it was quite surprising to me, a fairly emotional experience to be recognised by your peers. We have to thank portfolio partners for their continued and strong support of this award, and without any further comment from me, I'd like to introduce Craig Bingham, the Chief Executive Officer of Portfolio Partners, to announce this year's winner.
Thanks, John. Ladies and gentlemen, against the backdrop that you've talked about over the last day and a half, of this unseen volatility, of the many unsustainable business practices that we've seen evident in our community, that there is an awakening that value just doesn't materialise, it actually has to be created, and that gearing is a major problem and in epidemic proportions in our system, and that we have an emergence of new superpowers, including the oil-rich nations and the sovereign funds. And against that backdrop, I think the role of the trustee is again critical. In fact, the core attributes, as I see them, of the trustee, of compassion, of care and fairness, I think should be guiding lights, and many Australian business managers and politicians could do well to emulate and live these values. At this time, the need for maintenance of our clear investments guidelines, of not being swayed by the unknown in the promise of higher returns, and the clear and open communication with members is paramount. I think all funds and trustees should be congratulated on the way that they are communicating with their members, in particular during this volatile time. I have to also announce that we've been involved with the Trustee of the Year for some 12 odd years now, and this is a special year because this will be the last year that the plate will have portfolio partners on its name. We have announced that there are 10 groups within our organisations around the globe, and that we are combining and coming together as one, and will manage some $700 billion globally. And on the 8th of September, Portfolio Partners will change its name to Aviva Investors. So I'm looking forward to future Trustees of the Year, but under another name of Aviva Investors Trustee of the Year. To help me on that journey, Sylvia Felson, known to many of you, will be joining me. Today, however, we're here to celebrate the 2008 Trustee of the Year, and we're to look at an individual whose efforts have significantly contributed to the well-being of her fund and the system. So it gives me great pleasure to announce that this year the 2008 Trustee of the Year is from Hester, and it is Beth Mohle. Beth, could you join us?
Well, congratulations, Beth, on achieving the Trustee of the Year. It's a great honour and something that I think is highly deserved. Since becoming your deputy at Hester, I've really appreciated the effort that you put into looking after the affairs of the organisation, not only just the fund itself, but the employees of the fund and the industry as a whole. The effort that you've put in has been quite remarkable. I'm hoping that I can keep going in the vein that you've started. I'm sure with your support we'll get through it all and have another wonderful year as always. So well done and congratulations.
First of all, congratulations, Beth. I can't think of a more worthy recipient, my friend, and I think you absolutely deserve this, and I'm very pleased for you. And very happy for Hester, of course, as well, that one of our trustees has been nominated. Very deserved. Thanks a lot. The first thing I think about you, Beth, when I think about you as a trustee, is your amazing thoroughness. I have never worked with anyone who is so prepared for every meeting, who understands all the issues so comprehensively as yourself, and you really are an inspiration, I think, to the other trustees. And that's certainly something that I've noticed about you, first of all. Secondly, I think certainly as chair, I noticed your amazing capacity to draw a number of diverse views together and come up with an active plan that everybody is happy with. I'm not quite sure I know anyone that can do it quite as well as you do.
Congratulations, Beth. It's fantastic that you've been chosen as Trustee of the Year this year. I can't think of a better person from my perspective to win this award. You've been a fantastic chair over the last 2 years, and I've really enjoyed working with you over the time that we've been on the board together. I think as both a chair and a trustee, you've been completely committed and dedicated and worked extremely hard, probably put in 150% when most people were putting in 100% or less on some occasions when they were a bit stretched.
Well, congratulations, Beth. I can think of no better trustee to deserve this award than you. I remember that you always used to pop by to my office and give me some congratulations for awards we had won, or you'd come by just to have a bit of a chat, and it really meant a lot to the staff for you to do that. I also remember that you read every single thing that we gave you and every report we ever gave you. We could give you 2 feet thick, full of board papers, and we knew that you would read every single word, regardless of the type font that we used. And what that meant is that I had to be very, very careful to vet everything I put in reports, because I knew at the end of the day you would read it and you would come and ask me a question. So thank you for helping me build my report writing skills, and again, congratulations on the award. I can think of no one better to receive it than you, and I hope everything continues to go well for you. Cheers.
Beth is such a shining example of a representative trustee director, and she's just so deserving of this award. She has the members' needs, in her thoughts the whole time that she's doing her job on the HESTA board, and during her time as board chair she just did it in such an exemplary fashion. She's a sort of director that reads all the papers, every single one, and asks such insightful questions, and she has just been such a terrific addition to our board, and HESTA congratulates her on this well-deserved award.
Congratulations, Beth. I don't think there has ever been a more worthy recipient of this award. I think that Beth has continued and has always personified the professional trustee within the industry super movement. People know Beth as a nurse and as an Assistant Secretary of the Queensland Nurses Union, but as Chair she was, at the risk of offending all previous and possibly future chairs of HESTA, the best chair that we'd ever had and that we'd worked with. Everyone will know that she's a highly meticulous person, always paid attention to detail, but carried with her the respect of the board and the respect of the staff and the respect of everyone that we worked with, all stakeholders. So once again, congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
Just a little bit more information about Beth before we ask her to say a few words. Beth has been Trustee Director of HESTA since June of 2001. She's a registered nurse who trained at Royal Brisbane Hospital and was employed in a medical ward there before commencing employment in the Queensland Nurses Union as an organiser in 1990, and she currently, as David indicated, Assistant Secretary of the Queensland Nurses Union and the Queensland branch of the Australian Nursing Federation, where she has particular responsibilities for strategic planning, risk management, health policy, education and research. And if that's not a broad canvas, I don't know what is. Beth's a member of the Queensland Council of Unions Executive and chair of the QCU's International Solidarity Committee, as well as being an active member of Union Aid Abroad. Prior to nursing, she managed to do a BA in Humanities at Griffith University. She also holds a graduate certificate in health economics from Monash. And she has certificate qualifications in superannuation from ASFA, the 100 Certificate of Superannuation Management, and the ASFA 200 Trusteeship. She has a keen interest in the arts, and in particular film and photography. Beth, would you like to?
Thank you very much, John, and thank you to Craig and Portfolio Partners for this award. It is indeed a shock. I'm honoured and surprised by this award. I'd like to acknowledge my fellow trustee directors at HESTA. I think they exemplify the strength of the representative trustee system, and the union and employer reps on that board, all 14 of us. I think that we are always operating in the best interest of members, and we're focused on actually improving the retirement income of workers in the health and community services sector. That's our main game, and that's the only hat we wear when we walk in that boardroom door. To Anne-Marie and the whole magnificent team at HESTA, you truly are, you exemplify our health and community services sector as well. You are just focused on members, and on relationships, and it's members and relationships that this is all about. So I'd just like to particularly acknowledge all of the hard work that the staff do at HESTA, the great job that they do. I'd also just like to acknowledge the Queensland Nurses Union for giving me the opportunity to actually be a trustee on HESTA in the first place, and for the Australian Nursing Federation for nominating me. And that's all I've really got to say. I can't really think of anything else. It's such a shock and a surprise, and thank you all very much.